We have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers in Seattle. This is your Week 6 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Also hit the like button. Let's start off with the home team, the Seattle Seahawks. This team started out red hot, and they lost their last 2 games against the Detroit Lions in a shootout, and they also just lost to the New York Giants in devastating fashion as well. They're going for a field goal. The New York Giants blocked the field goal. They will win the game 29-20. In this game against the San Francisco 49ers, you have to protect Geno Smith. The offensive line is still dealing with injuries. They just called up Jason Peters to the practice squad. Does that sound familiar? It's a similar situation that they were in last season when Abraham Lucas went down after the Los Angeles Rams game. Well, Abraham Lucas has yet to play a snap this season, and he is still dealing with a knee injury. He's out for this game. They're going to have to slow down Nick Bosa. I understand that the San Francisco 49ers are dealing with injuries on the defensive side of the ball, but they can still get to the quarterback. When you look at the names that they have with Leonard Floyd, and you also look at Nick Bosa as well, if the 49ers can go out there and they can put a lot of pressure on Geno Smith, it's going to be hard for the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. So they have to go out there and protect him up front with that offensive line, whether that's calling up Jason Peters or just having guys go out there and play better. Geno Smith led the team in rushing yards last week with 72 rushing yards. Not only just that, he had 0 interceptions on the day. He had 284 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Kenneth Walker III only had 19 rushing yards. Zach Charbonnet only had 11 rushing yards as well. They have to go out there and run the football better and take the pressure off of Geno Smith. You're not going to win this game if you cannot run the football and play complimentary football against the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, they're coming off a tough loss against the Arizona Cardinals, but this is still one of the better teams in the NFL. And this is a team that the Seattle Seahawks have not defeated in the last 5 games. They have to go out there. Yes, try to get some mismatches going on in terms of DK Metcalf on the linebacker and Jackson Smith-Njigba and Tyler Lockett, but they have to win up front in the trenches. Yes, Geno Smith has to take care of the football, which he's done a very good job at over the last couple of games. But if they cannot protect Geno Smith, it's going to be hard for the offense to go out there and put up any type of production. Yes, get the football, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and also Tyler Lockett as well, and to Noah Fant. They have the guys outside that can go out there and they can win one-on-one matchups. But it doesn't matter if the offensive line cannot hold up for Geno Smith. When I look at the defense for the Seattle Seahawks, the first 2 games, they look very good. And they're dealing with a lot of injuries on this side of the football. Uchenna Nwosu is out for this game. Byron Murphy, the big defensive lineman, the first-round pick, he's out for this game as well. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. Boye Mafe is out for this game, and Tyreek Woolen is questionable. This is the interesting thing here. You are going against a 49ers team that is basically struggling right now to put up big-time points like how they have done in the past because of the inconsistency with the offensive line play. You have to put pressure on Brock Purdy. But at the same time, you can't blitz too much because they still have weapons like Brandon Ayuk. They have Jordan Mason, who is a very good running back, and they have George Kittle as well. You have to go out there and stop the run, but you don't want to just basically go out there and just say, you know what? Forget everything else. Stopping the run's the first priority. No, Kyle Shanahan has done that in the past against the Seahawks. He will work off a play action, and the next thing you know, you have Brandon Ayuk going deep down the field. It's going to be very interesting to see what Coach McDonald is going to do to try to stop the rushing attack with that zone rushing system with Kyle Shanahan and Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason is no Christian McCaffrey, but he's a very good running back, and that's a tough offensive scheme to go against. But I look at a coach like Mike McDonald. I believe that he can contain the run. He's a very good defensive mind, but the players have to step up. We look at what the Seattle Seahawks have allowed the last 2 weeks. A lot of rushing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they had a day. And you also look at the backup last week and Tracy Jr. for the New York Giants. he ran all over them. It wasn't a system per se. The players cannot make tackles in space. The tackling has to be better. But I do expect for Coach McDonald to go out there and set guys up in the right situations. And all you really have to do is meet Jordan Mason right there at the point of attack. But it's going to be hard to do because they have one of the best tackles in the game in Trent Williams. It's going to come down to the linebackers as well, and the healthy linebackers at that, with Jerome Baker and Terrell Dotson as well. When I look at the secondary, I like Devin Witherspoon. He's a very good cornerback. If Tyreek Woolen can play, we all know that he's a star in his own right. They have Rayshawn Jenkins at the strong safety position, and Julian Love, who is a very good cover safety. He's the best cover safety with the team. They have to be on their P's and Q's in this game, and they have to go out there and make those tackles in space, because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of trouble. And I do believe this. The offensive line can give Geno Smith enough time. He's proven, even back to when he first became the starter, he can put up a lot of points against many defenses in the NFL. So it's going to come down to the offensive line buying time for Geno Smith, running the football better with Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet. And for the defense, go out there and tackle. Coach McDonald's going to put you in the right situation. All you have to do is meet Jordan Mason at the point of attack. Now let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers. It's been a slow start for the San Francisco 49ers. The offensive line has not been consistent with Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy does not look like the same quarterback without Deebo Samuel. Not saying that Brock Purdy has been a bad quarterback, because he hasn't been. You look at him on the season, 6 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Last week, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals by a point. 24-23. And how did they lose this game? Well, it came down to this. They could not go out there and they cannot stop the rushing attack with Kyler Murray and also with James Conner as well. They allowed a lot of big plays constantly. You cannot have that in this game. And Kenneth Walker III, just because he had a slow week last week, that man is one of the most explosive running backs in the NFL. And don't let Zach Charbonnet fool you. He can go out there. He can get 30 to 40 yards as well. The defense has to be better. Limit the big time plays. And this is a scary offense to go against, because they have DK Metcalf. They have Jackson Smith-Njigba and Tyler Lockett. They can get behind the cornerbacks. This is going to be a very hard offense for the 49ers to go out there and stop, but they do have the pieces. Put pressure on Geno Smith. You can send a blitz if you want to. Just make him get the football quickly out of his hand. Do not let him set up shop, and do not let him have the opportunity to let DK Metcalf get 30 and 40 yards deep down the field, even if it is in one-on-one situations, because we've seen it in the past. Yes, the 49ers have won these games, but DK Metcalf can give them problems. And the same with Tyler Lockett as well. You can make the argument that they have 3 number 1 wide receivers. So it's going to come down to guys like Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd in this game. Now, when I said that the 49ers are dealing with injuries on the defensive side, boy, are they. Javon Hargrave got injured a couple weeks ago. Tore his tricep. He's out for the rest of the season. You also look at Drake Jackson, out for the entire season, dealing with a knee injury. Hufanga at the safety position. He's questionable in this game. So it's going to come down to, can they play better defense than they did last week, and can they limit those big time plays? Now back to the offense. Jordan Mason, he's no Christian McCaffrey, but he's not a bad running back. Any running back that has been in a Shanahan system, whether it's Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, just in this offense in general, they always go out there and they get good production. This is a Seahawks team that has reverted back to their old ways. They're struggling to stop the run. A lot of their defensive talent is out. You have to do what you did in week 1 against the New York Jets. Run the football with Jordan Mason, and run the football with Jordan Mason in the red zone. Part of the reason to why the 49ers lost last week against the Cardinals, the play calling by Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan was doing this kid no favors in the red zone in terms of making life easy for Brock Purdy. He has to go out there, run the football, try to use time possession against the Seattle Seahawks. Because I do believe with the injury to both defenses, you may be in a situation to where this is a shootout. Try to win that time possession. Jordan Mason was the lead running back against the New York Jets. He puts you in a very good situation. Look at what happened against the Minnesota Vikings. They went away from that run game and they put the ball more so in Brock Purdy's hand. But the offensive line is too inconsistent right now. Besides Trent Williams, these offensive linemen, they're having a tough time protecting Brock Purdy. And just because the Seahawks are dealing with injuries, you're going against an elite defensive coordinator in terms of his mindset, who is now the brand new head coach with the Seattle Seahawks and Coach McDonald. He led the Baltimore Ravens to have one of the best defenses in the NFL last season. Statistically, the best defense in the NFL last season, based off of his scheme alone. So you want to put Brock Purdy into situations, dump the football out quick to Brandon Ayuk, dump the football out quick to George Kittle, even get Jordan Mason involved in the receiving game as well. They're going to be in a tough situation. Now, Deebo Samuel was able to come back last week. He had 1 catch for 11 receiving yards. He had 3 carries for 9 rushing yards. Get him more involved. Brandon Ayuk had 8 catches for 147 receiving yards. That's great to see. But George Kittle, he should be the X factor in this game. He had 64 receiving yards last week, 1 receiving touchdown. Try to take advantage of the injuries that the Seattle Seahawks are dealing with, especially the linebacking spot. Then get the football out to your playmakers. Just do some dump down screens to Deebo Samuel and do some dump downs to Brandon Ayuk as well. With that being said, this is going to be a tough physical football game, and who can win at the line of scrimmage. With that being said, this is going to be a close football game. I know the last couple of games when they went against the 49ers, the Seahawks have went against the 49ers, the game hasn't been so close to the end of the game. I think this is a bit different. It's a short week. Both teams are coming off of losses. This is Coach McDonald's debut versus Kyle Shanahan in terms of his first matchup with a coach like this. Is that they're going to be playing chess on both sides of the field. I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. And I have the San Francisco 49ers winning this game because of the injuries to the Seattle Seahawks offensive line, and because their defense right now, they can't stop the run. And the 49ers are just a little bit more healthier than the Seahawks. And I do have the 49ers winning this game 28-23. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you have winning this game? The Seattle Seahawks or the San Francisco 49ers. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.